Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Very happy to have you here. Today, we're doing an in-depth planetary puja using the chart of now, based off the location where I am at the moment, which is in New Mexico. Today, the moon is in Bharani star, which makes today a day that's called Mahabharani, during the festival of Mahalaya, a festival of 14 days when we're honoring our ancestors. Bharani star is ruled by Yama, and among other things, he's an archetype who rules the land of the deceased ancestors, or the realm of the deceased ancestors. So when the moon is in Bharani star during the Mahalaya festival, it's called Mahabharani, the Great Bharani. So we are having that special energy today in doing our puja. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and an AstroVed astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting these calls Monday through Friday on this channel. Dr. Pillai has explained that the planets and stars are more than just objects in outer space. There is a divine light being associated with all of them. And in doing the puja, we are honoring these light beings and we're inviting their blessings to come into our lives. We're going to honor all of the planets, the stars that they're in, the archetypes that rule those stars, the planets that rule those stars, and the planets that rule the zodiac signs that have stars in them today. We'll be using the chart of now, using the South Indian style version of the chart. Each of these 12 boxes, little boxes, represents a particular zodiac sign. And I'm going to be offering flower petals as we do the puja. I have this chart drawn in chalk on a chalkboard on a side table. And as we do the sounds, I will be holding a flower or a flower petal. And as we say the sounds, I'll put the flower petal on top of the planet in a particular place that's appropriate for what we're doing in the puja. I also have on a side table a light, a container of water, a bell, and a hand fan, which I'll be using during the puja as well. So we begin with, first I take the little container of water, dip my ring finger into it, and I sprinkle some water on all four sides of the blackboard, sprinkling water to purify the space of our puja. I sprinkle a few drops on myself to symbolically purify myself. And I send a few drops of water into space towards all of you, whether you're watching it live or watching a replay later, so that all of us are participating in this puja from a sense of being in sacred ground or sacred space. We first start by invoking Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles. And to do this, we're going to use the mantra Om Sring Gung, S-R-I-N-G-G-U-N-G. Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung, Om Sringam. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles from this puja and to remove all obstacles in the lives of everyone who is participating in it. And we thank him for his help with this. Next, we're going to do a short Tamil chant, asking all of the planets and stars to be beneficial today towards us. I have put a link for this chant up above in the chat if you're unfamiliar with it. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. We ask all of the planets and stars and light beings that we're about to invoke to be beneficial today towards us. We thank Saint Gnanasamudra for teaching this chant, and we are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now we're going to honor the time elements that are active right now in this local area here in New Mexico. We're going to honor the planet that's ruling the day, the star that the moon is in, the Tithi or the moon phase, the Hora, the planet that rules the hour, as well as the time elements of the Yoga and the Karana. We start with honoring the planet that rules the day. Today is Wednesday, which is ruled by Mercury. I put the flower petals on top of Mercury. He happens to be retrograde right now. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Next, we honor the star that the moon is in. Right now, the moon is in the star called Bharani. And during the festival of Mahalaya, the festival where we're spending many days honoring our ancestors, when the moon is in Bharani star, this is called Mahabharani or Great Bharani. And it's a special day for honoring ancestors because Bharani star is ruled by Yama, an archetype who does rule the land of the deceased ancestors, among other things. We honor Bharani star. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Next, we honor the Tithi or the moon phase. Right now, we're in the 5th waning moon in this area, which is called Panchami in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said we would use the Sanskrit name for the moon phase, followed by the word Devi, which invokes the light being associated with this moon phase. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Panchami Devye Namaha. Om Panchami Devye Namaha. Om Panchami Devye Namaha. Next, we honor the planet that rules the hour. The moment in this area, we're in an hour that's being ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. For the Yoga and the Karana, Dr. Pillai said we would not use flower petals. We would just say their names 3 times each. The yoga that's active right now is one called Vyagata, which has energies that are fierce. Vyagata, Vyagata, Vyagata. And the Karana that is active right now is one called Kalava, which has energies that are social. Kalava, Kalava, Kalava. Now we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. Dr. Pillai said we would always start the puja looking at whatever sign is the ascendant sign represented here with AC for ascendant. And this happens to be right now in the sign of Virgo. He said we would honor the planet that rules the ascendant sign, the sign that's coming up on the eastern horizon in this local area. And we would honor the planet that rules the ascendant sign, as he's an important planet right now. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury again happens to be retrograde, extra powerful. We honor Mercury, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Then, starting in the ascendant sign, we would go around honoring the planets. Right now, there is a planet in Virgo, which happens to be Mercury himself. He's very happy to be here because he rules the sign, and he's also exalted in Virgo. Again, we honor Mercury for being in Virgo, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Mercury is in a star called Hasta, a star symbolized as an open hand giving blessing. Om Hastaye Namaha. Om Hastaye Namaha. Om Hastaye Namaha. Hasta star is ruled by Savitur, a form of the sun that helps with energies of truth. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Saviturye Namaha. Om Saviturye Namaha. Om Saviturye Namaha. Hasta star is ruled by the moon. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kanya or Virgo, the most detail-oriented of all the zodiac signs, and a zodiac sign with energies for organization, analysis, working with numbers, and pattern recognition, today containing Mercury, planet of communication, planet of business, and also the planet of numbers and computers. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Tula or Libra, which today contains Ketu. We honor Ketu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu is in a star called Vishaka, a star that can give blessings for victory and triumph. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give blessings for leadership and courage, and Agni can give blessings for transformation and purification. We honor both of them, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Libra, which is Venus. We honor Venus, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a sign with energies of fairness, balance, harmony, today containing Ketu, who is sometimes called the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign, going in a clockwise direction around the chart, is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto retrograde and Saturn retrograde. We have several planets retrograde right now: Mercury, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, and also Uranus. There's quite a bit of retrograde action right now. And when planets are retrograde, they are extra powerful. We honor Pluto, and I put the flower petals on him. The mantra we will use for him is Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Pluto is in a star called Uttarashada, a star that can give blessings for success, especially blessings for long-lasting success. And it's easiest to access some of the blessings of this star when we remember to be grateful for the blessings we already have. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 archetypes who each embody a particular divine universal principle. We ask for blessings from all 10 of them, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun. I put the flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Next, we honor Saturn for being in Capricorn. And again, right now, Saturn is retrograde. I put the flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Saturn is in a star called Dhanishta, a star symbolized as a drum. This is a star that can give energies for prosperity, music, and good reputation. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, 8 light beings who each rule a different sphere of existence. We honor all 8 of them, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Capricorn, which is Saturn. Again, we invoke Saturn, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign that can activate ancient past life skills and abilities, today containing Pluto, a planet that can help us with rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that can give blessings for patience, discipline, organization, structure, and compassion. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Kumbha or Aquarius, which today contains Neptune, who is also retrograde. The mantra we will use for Neptune is Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Purva Bhajapada, a star that has the energy and fire of Kundalini energy, and also can give blessings for purification. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Purva Bhajapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhajapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhajapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhajapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada, an archetype who can help us experience deeper levels of silence and stillness, as well as forgiveness. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhajapada star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Kumbha or Aquarius, which is Saturn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kumbha or Aquarius, the most humanitarian of all the zodiac signs, today containing Neptune, a planet that can help with our intuition and our ability to understand our own inner life. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Meena or Pisces, which today contains Jupiter, who is also retrograde. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Uttara Bhajapada. Dr. Pillai says this is a star that can give us blessings for business development. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on top of Jupiter, a planet that can give energies for increase. Om Uttara Bhajapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhajapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhajapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhajapada star is ruled by Arbundia, an archetype who helps to guard valuables and treasures. We ask for him to bless all of our valuables and treasures with protection. We also ask him to protect the very earth itself. We honor him. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Uttar Bhadrapada's star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn. I put the flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Pisces, which is Jupiter. Again, we invoke Jupiter and I put more flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena or Pisces, the most metaphysical and transcendental of all the zodiac signs, today containing Jupiter, a planet that helps with everything related to spirituality, as well as a planet that can help with wealth and also with everything related to banking or legal matters. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi sign with the planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains the moon, Rahu, and Uranus, who is retrograde. All three of these planets are in the same star, Bharani. So I'm going to invoke all three of the planets before I invoke the star. We start with honoring the moon, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Next, we honor Rahu. I put the flower petals on him. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Next, we invoke Uranus. The mantra we will use for him is Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. I put the flower petals on Uranus. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. All three of these planets, Moon, Rahu, and Uranus, are all in a star called Bharani. Bharani is a star symbolized with the symbol for the yoni, which represents the female private parts. This is a star with a tremendous amount of divine feminine Shakti or energy or power. And when the moon is in Bharani star during the festival of Mahalaya, a festival that honors the ancestors, and a festival that we're in right now, that time is called Mahabharani or Great Bharani. We honor the star Bharani, Mahabharani today. I put the flower petals across all three of those planets. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Yama, an archetype who rules the land of the deceased ancestors, and also is an archetype of justice. We honor him, and I put the flower petals across all three of the planets. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Venus. We put the flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aries, which is Mars. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign with very active energies, today containing the moon, which is our mind and our emotions, Rahu, a planet that helps us to think outside the box, and Uranus, a planet that helps with intellect and innovation, and even with astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Vrishabha or Taurus, which today contains Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. The moon is in a star called Rohini, a star of beauty. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Rohiniye Namaha. Om Rohiniye Namaha. Om Rohiniye Namaha. Rohini's star is ruled by Brahma, an archetype of creation and creativity. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Brahmaye Namaha. Om Brahmaye Namaha. Om Brahmaye Namaha. Rohini's star is ruled by the moon. I put the flower petals on him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Vrishabha or Taurus, which is Venus. I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Vrishabha or Taurus, a grounded, earthy sign that also is a sign with love for material plane comforts and luxuries, today containing Mars, a planet that likes to take practical action to solve problems, and also a planet of passion with energies of both the healer and the warrior. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Simha or Leo, which today contains Venus and the sun. We start with honoring Venus. I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus is in a star called Purva Palguni, one of the relationship stars, and also a star of rest and relaxation. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Purva Palgunaye Namaha. Om Purva Palgunaye Namaha. Om Purva Palgunaye Namaha. Purva Palguni is ruled by an archetype called Bhagya, an archetype who can give blessings of good fortune. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Bhagyaye Namaha. Om Bhagyaye Namaha. Om Bhagyaye Namaha. Purva Palguni's star is ruled by Venus. We honor Venus again, and I put flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the sun for being in Leo. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. The sun is in a star called Uttara Palguni. This is the other star with relationship energies, and this is a star of more with the energies of commitment and keeping our word, keeping our promises. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Uttara Palgunaye Namaha. Om Uttar Palgunaye Namaha. Om Uttar Palgunaye Namaha. Uttara Palguni star is ruled by Aryaman, an archetype who rules contracts, integrity, keeping our word, and having a sense of honor. Honor is when there is a line we just don't cross. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Purva Palguni star is ruled by the sun. Again, we honor the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Leo, which happens to be the sun. So the sun is sitting in a sign he rules and also in a star he rules. He's very comfortable today. We honor the sun. I put more flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Simha or Leo, a sign of energies for power and leadership, and also dealings with the government. Today containing Venus, planet of diplomacy, planet of happiness, planet of enjoyment of material plane comforts, and also the sun, which is our soul, a planet so important for our health, and also the planet that does help with having us have self-confidence and high self-esteem, and a planet that can help us develop our leadership skills. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I'm taking a lit tea light and I'm holding it above the chart on the blackboard that has the chalk with the chart on it and all the little flower petals. And I'm going to wave it around 3 times in a clockwise direction, offering the element of light to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked. Now I'm going to take a little hand fan and wave it, offering the element of air. I wave that around the chart 3 times, offering the element of air and also a cooling breeze. And now I take a bell to offer the element of sound. Now I make prayer hands and sincere prayers to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them to bring their positive blessings into the lives of all of us, into the lives of our families, our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our schools, our communities, our countries, and indeed the entire world. I ask them to make it so that everyone on this planet has healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs. May everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. I pray for enlightened leaders, enlightened citizens, enlightened laws, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. I ask for blessings for all of my teachers, past, present, and to come. And I ask for blessings for all of my students, past, present, and to come. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your personal prayers for about a minute in silence, and then we can do some short Q&A. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment. Peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Thank you all for being here. We truly appreciate your participation and support. Right now, I can take a few questions if you would like to post them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. And again, we appreciate it if you like the channel and if you help subscribe to it, as Dr. Pillai is interested. Let's see here. I see question in the chat. Tavishi is saying, it's been 3 months since I can see Lotus Star. Please guide. I honestly don't know what you mean by Lotus Star. So I'm sorry that I don't know how to respond to that, because I don't know what you mean by Lotus Star. I'm sorry, Tavishi, I don't know how to guide you on that. If you want to write me a longer explanation, you can email me at Valli, VALLI, at pillaicenter.com with more information about your question, and I will try to answer it better than I can right now, as right now I don't know how to respond to it. Okay. Not seeing any other questions in the chat today, which is fine. So again, thank you all for being here. It's Mahabharani Day, so it's a good day to do Tarpanam during daylight hours in your local area. It's an especially auspicious day for that. And Sucharita, a Pillai Center teacher, her moon is in Bharani Star, and I get to do some work with her later today on Great Bharani Day. So I feel very excited for that. She'll have a good energy for her today. Lovely. So Tavishi is saying Anuradha Nakshatra. The moon goes through all 27 of the stars every month, Tavishi. You may not see them all 27 in the Planetary Pooja because we don't do this on the weekends. And the moon is going through stars over the weekends as well. So I don't know if that addresses your question, but I just don't know what else to say to you. So you could send me perhaps an email explaining longer what your question is. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out our session for today. Again, thank you for being here. Your support is truly appreciated. Religion of Religions channel has several other programs on it. We hope that you will enjoy some of those other programs as well. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. May light encompass all.